Hello everybody, my name is Benjamin Bloom. I have just witnessed Derby County 1, Cardiff City 1, both goals coming fairly early and then both teams getting away without losing, that they'll probably both be happy to do so, especially Derby, who'd been on a bit of a slide. But both teams really need wins, too many draws for both Cardiff and Derby so far this season. Here's what happened, and just a quick aside, I nearly didn't get in the ground tonight because as I walked up there was a message playing, "This is an emergency, please evacuate the ground." Stood outside for 5 minutes, saw the Derby players getting on to their bus. Don't know what went on inside there. Normally a bomb scare type situation, that thing, but could have been anything. I'm speculating. But then 5 minutes later someone came on the PA and said you can all go back inside. If you check out my match experience that should be up by Sunday, you can see some footage of what went on there. But here is what went on in game, and Derby line up 4-3-3. Last time I saw them they had a couple of youngsters in there, Buchanan and Knight. Neither of them in tonight. Looked a bit more experienced. Balance through most of the team looked good, but still that one issue: who's playing up top. Roos in goal. Lowe making do at right back. Bogle still to come back, isn't he? Keogh Clark centre back, so Clark's found his way back in. Malone in at left back. Huddleston and Bielik are sitting in midfield. Dwayne Holmes in front of them. And as soon as I saw that, I thought, oh, he'll add something, a little bit of movement, ability to carry the ball, etc. link up. So pleased to see him from a Derby point of view. Waghorn is going to play out to the right. Lawrence to the left. Marriott up top. All of those players gravitate to the middle. So there's an issue there with a kind of lack of width, and really Waghorn a lot of times rotating with Marriott and vice versa, and Marriott would probably prefer that didn't happen and he had an orthodox guy outside him. But this is something that Koku's going to have to figure out if he's not going to play a front two. Cardiff, a 4-2-3-1, very similar to the team that I saw draw with Fulham last week, and check that review out elsewhere on the channel. So Smithies in goal. The back four is Peltier, Morrison, Flint, Bennett. Bacuna and Rolls are the double pivot. I believe Bacuna had some horrible travelling, so quite surprised to see him starting on international duty this past week. White off to the right. Patterson is in the 10 position. I believe Lee Tomlin had a car accident, so I hope he's okay. Although I kind of thought Patterson might start anyway after seeing the last game. Murphy down the left. Glatzel keeps his place up top. Yet to score. That is going to change today. But it's an early goal for Derby before any pattern was established in this game. Derby take the lead, and it is the aforementioned Holmes. And the first part of this is reasonably pretty. Holmes slides it into the front, runs back to receive it, gets a bit of a bounce. It's not a clean give and go, and now he's in behind. He heads for the touchline and he's going to pull it back, and from here on it's just an utter mess. The first instance is that no one really goes to close down Holmes on the touchline. They all don't want to leave their spare man with the tap in. What then transpires is you get a real horrible crowd scene with extra bodies, and this really hinders Cardiff's ability to clear this ball, and they do kind of have a couple of chances here. Marriott is blocked at first, then it goes out to Huddleston. It's half cleared. Huddleston drives it in. Smithies makes the save. It runs loose to Waghorn. He kind of half gets the shot. It bounces up in the middle, and some credit to Scott Malone, who's obviously watching from the left-hand side. Well, no, he's not watching because he could stand there and watch, but no, he runs in, gets involved, and his gamble pays off as the ball pinballs around, falls to him for a complete tap in, and Malone gives Derby the lead after 5 minutes. Just the start Koku would have wanted, just the start Warnock wouldn't have wanted. Like I say, no real build-up or pattern to the goal, but good from Holmes initially, and then just a big mess, and Cardiff not able to clear the ball. Cardiff only really get close to the goal in about 10 minutes. Patterson winds up a couple of long throws. The reasons why he's probably going to be more useful than Tomlin short term. One, he can take the long throws, and he is an outlet, big nuisance value. He is a number 10, but spends a lot of time on the restarts, moving across to one side, being the extra aerial threat. So Glatzel can be a number 9 and pin himself up against those centre halves. My initial thoughts were that Derby looked better with Clark in at centre half, Bielik as a midfielder rather than a centre half, and Holmes. I think you have those two players are going to give you better possession, although I know Derby fans do look a bit impatient with Clark on the ball at the moment. But I figure those three, that kind of configuration of those can be good for what Koku's trying to do, if it is going to work in the long run. 14, first opening for Cardiff here, worked down the left by Murphy. The first shot's blocked, falls to Glatzel in a good position. Okay, it comes at him quickly, but he swipes at this and scuffs that one well wide. Tricky chance given the speed, but needed a better finish than that. 16, lovely carry from Bielik. This is also what he can give you that maybe Huddleston in his advanced years in terms of mobility cannot. He drives forward from the kind of number 6 position to the number 10 position, right through the heart of the pitch here, feeds Waghorn. Waghorn goes down. This runs loose to Marriott, so the ref has got a get out here if it was a foul on Waghorn, in that he's played an advantage. Marriott hits the shot and it is blocked. We'll have to have another look at that Waghorn chance. Waghorn shout, really, because he's in the box. He wasn't happy about it, but as I say, the ref's got the get out there. He can say, oh, I played the advantage there. There's going to be no advantage here, though, because Cardiff on 17 are going to get the equaliser. And it's classic Cardiff, isn't it? Morrison off on the right-hand side, cleaning up that ball. Big, long throwing into the box. It is quite a clever one because Flint holds back. They don't pile in on goal. He gets the flick on. Glatzel is loose. I believe it's Keogh he's with that pulls him back and gives the ref a decision to make, which he duly does. Gives the penalty, which is a nice, very high percentage chance now for Glatzel to get off the mark, which he does. Good penalty this, because Roos goes the right way, opens up his body, he side foots it, but with power. That's the key. Into the corner it goes. 1-1 is the score, and this penalty is really going to unsettle Derby. Now, really, for the rest of the half, Cardiff start to disrupt the game really nicely now, and nicely is the right word if you're a purist that wants to see a flowing game. I really don't care how teams play, so I'm fascinated by how they did it. Slowed down the restarts, pressed on Bielik and Clark, narrowed the game up, which was easily done given Waghorn and Lawrence's propensity to come in, and Derby just could not get their foot on the ball really for a lot of the half now. Holmes pushes forward on 32. This starts a counter, this surge, bounces up from a load. It's a half chance he's come forward and supported again. Volleys from 25 yards straight down Smithy's throw. Derby start to get a bit of possession back. This is full 20 minutes after the goal. They're hurrying Clark at the back. I guess this is a clear instruction, and football fans, you must remember, especially Derby fans, it looks like Clark and Keogh have been told do not play it long. So when you're yelling at them to boot it down the ground, they're probably just following instructions. But a couple of hairy moments, and that pack of Murphy and Patterson, Glatzel and White really honing in on those centre halves and forcing a couple of errors. Really, there's a bit of dithering here. Morrison is given the chance when they win a free kick, floated into the box. He heads it straight at the keeper. They're caught again trying to play out. Rules, who's good in this position following these kind of moments in, he hits the low shot in, and that is blocked. Peltier takes a yellow on Lawrence, but just before half time, Cardiff hit the post. It's another long throw, and this one Patterson hurls it in. Again, they're worried about the big guys. They all jump even if they don't win the ball. It kind of hits Bielik, diverts towards the goal and hits the post. That could have snuck in, hits the outside of the post. It could have hit the post and come out for a tap-in as well. So scary moment from the exact same kind of play that forced the penalty. It gets to half-time. Derby got that early opener. Never really controlled the game. Cardiff didn't let them. Once Cardiff hurl that long throw in and get the penalty, I thought they had the better of it in terms of they controlled Derby not being able to get any width in their play, not being able to play out through, particularly through Clark and Bielik. And, you know, we all know what they do. They stop the flow of the game. They slow down the restarts. Warnock's been a master at it for years. And to his credit, through a whole season, it normally works for him. And they're hard to play against and hard to beat. And that proved the case in this first half. I thought they ended the first half stronger. That said, Derby are going to start the second half stronger, and they're going to hit the crossbar after 47 minutes. Lowe crosses it in from the right. It's cleared to Huddleston. Football fans, stop yelling shoot every time the ball goes to someone 30 yards out. Really does my nut that. Huddleston knows better. He's not going to take a low percentage chance. He's going to play it into Marriott to create a much better chance. Marriott's 20 yards out, hits it left-footed. Still a tricky chance, that being said, but he smashes it against the crossbar. They played Marriott pretty well today, and that was the closest he got there. Crossbar there, unlucky. Good effort. 48, Cardiff stick the free kick over. Shot at goal here, hits his own man. It's Bakuna, hits Morrison there from 20 yards. 50 minutes, here's the big chance, and it needed one of these to go in to stop this game playing out the way it did. It's a lovely ball in from right back from Lowe. The ball is one of those that just sucks rules in, and Waghorn can then roll him and beat him. He's now one-on-one with Sean Morrison, and frankly, for my liking, he's passed Morrison too easy. He sidesteps him, and he's in behind now. The ball is just to Waghorn's right, and it's not far enough to his right for him to have to take this with the right foot, and he does go at it with the wrong foot here. Tries to poke it left-footed in behind, one-on-one. It would almost have been easier if it was just a clear right, Martin, you've got to take this with your right foot, and I think he probably is going to try and slide it around Smithies. That said, he goes with the wrong foot, makes the save. That was the big chance, and they did not take it there. Waghorn, brilliant to receive. It's a good ball from Lowe as well, but he's got to go with the right foot there, open up his body and try and find that corner, or give the keeper the eyes and then sweep it back the other way. Morrison, I remember, I think it was in the first game against Wigan as well. It's not the first time he's let someone run past him easily. Normally a reliable unit at the back there, Morrison, but not in that instance there. 55. Lawrence Long Ranger, easy for Smithies. And on 57, the third of the chances here is a quick free kick from Waghorn. He chips it over before Cardiff can reset their defence. They didn't manage to delay this restart. Waghorn's on that. Lawrence holds it up. Back to Waghorn, low left footer. He goes across the play here, which can sometimes blind the goalkeeper. You just need to get that direction on the shot, and the keeper's not seeing it, so it doesn't need pace. But he bobbles it, and it just goes wide of the post, and Cardiff ride the Derby storm in the first half. I can't say that Derby kind of swept all before them there and had lots of possession, but they were decisive in their attacks, which they had to be, because frankly they were coming few and far between. And that little flurry between 45 and 57 minutes was the moment where Derby really could have drawn Cardiff out, but they did not take any of those chances and do it. Warnock reacts, swaps his wingers out here. Mendes Lang comes in for White. Straight swap down the right. Hoylett in for Murphy down the left. Again, I didn't expect to see Hoylett because I believe he has a very unwell family member, and it was touch and go as to whether he would be elsewhere today. But he's here, and he gets on pretty much on the hour mark. Given away by Keogh here at the back. Bakuna is onto it, drives into the box here. He wanted an option, didn't he? He goes with the shot. Roos pushes that one away. Waghorn finally gets into the inside right position that he's actually playing in. He spends the whole time trying to join in and getting up front, which is an issue for Derby at the moment structurally. he works Bennett, so he can do it. He just wants to play up front, clearly. Drives it at the near post, deflects wide. They could play it by Waghorn. Remember, he is a predominantly left-footed, very good left foot indeed, as I can vouch for as an Ipswich fan. Clark steps out here, leaves a big gap. Big counter here by Glatzel and Mendes-Lang down the right. It's into the box. They're trying to find Patterson. Strong defending there. He just gets bumped off it at the last. 69. Here they come again. Great ball by Rolls here from the centre of midfield out to Junior Hoylett. He's one-on-one with Lowe, and I have to say, he didn't exactly have Lowe on toast, but he certainly had the better of him. Hoylett, it's a bit of a weird one because Lowe's a right back playing left back, and Hoylett likes to come inside, but Lowe didn't want to take him to the byline. Here, he offers it to him. This time, Hoylett takes it, driven in near post. Keogh and Glatzel arrive, and we often see these swept into the net off either defender, striker, both, but Keogh does enough to put Glatzel off. Good defending by the Derby captain. Nothing doing there. 79, great ball from Holmes here. Lowe in a good crossing position. There's men in the middle, but as I said a second ago, he's a left back playing right back and he can't make the difficult cross first time. Joseph soon comes in for Holmes. So Beans Holmes is more of an orthodox centre midfielder. The system kind of changes to a 4-2-3-1 now, and you get Waghorn in the 10 position, which frankly he prefers than right-sided forward position. Joseph soon down the left. Lawrence holds his position down the right with Marriott up top. Joseph Zoon straight in down the left here. Marriott supporting, fires it across. Lawrence arriving, puts it over. It's a tricky chance. He kind of has to adjust and volley it. But some suggestion that would a 4-2-3-1 with that configuration be a bit braver? I know we saw it with Dowell in the first game at Huddersfield. Maybe that might be a way to go going forward for Koku. 82, close for Cardiff here. Hoylett again, one-on-one with Lowe. It's not going to work out well. Lovely dink to the back post. Patterson, he does this so well. He's not creative, number 10, but he drifts to the back post. He heads it across. Glatzel, it's a good climb by the big guy. He just gets anything, something on it. Flips it towards goal. It's going into the net, and Clark is back on the line to hook that one over the top. If Patterson can just get more on the header back and put it into Glatzel's path, that is a clear chance, and he's going to head it into the net. So an escape there. Peltier takes down Joseph soon here. He's on a yellow. Maybe a bit lucky to get away with that one. Dangerous free kick here. Lawrence wastes it. 85, Chris Martin, who I believe has not played for Derby for a long time, comes in to a great ovation and goes up front. Martin Waghorn will be thinking, what can I do to get up front today? But yeah, very big ovation for Chris Martin, who is going to have a pretty horrible 10 minutes on the pitch. He didn't really look ready at all. So not the best substitution by Koku, but the Derby crowd seem to like it. Lawrence through Morrison here. He takes a yellow. Apparently, if my information is right from my mate Russ on the text, that's his 5th of the season in 7 games. Not clever from Lawrence if that's the case. 88, Omar Bogle comes in for Glatzel. Give Warnock his dues. He's giving Glatzel lots and lots of minutes on the pitch, and he's now off the mark. So maybe that starts to pay dividends. The old Warnock knows what he's doing, doesn't he? 6 minutes stoppage time. Bogle gets in the drop zone here from a long ball. Hoylett, 20-yarder here. Half volley's not far wide. I gasped, but Calais Roos didn't in goal. He didn't look too moved by that. And bang, on the 96-minute mark, Waghorn wins a free kick for Derby. Is it going to be glory for Chris Martin? He gets the opportunity and sticks it into the wall. The game ends 1-1. As I said, Cardiff look in better shape because of those 2 late home wins. So they can hack away draws. That's fine if they can then go and win home games. And they are accumulating points at a decent rate at home, Cardiff. So this is a better result for them than it is for Derby. If my info's right, I think Cardiff are 12th with a draw. I think Derby are going to be about 17th today, but will no doubt drop tomorrow. I'm sure someone below them will win. So yeah, Cardiff 9 points, Derby 7 points. In terms of personnel, I did think this looked better than West Brom, which might sound weird. I was at the West Brom game, a couple of youngsters in there. I think, Derby fans, if you're patient with Clark, I think in possession he's going to be able to do what Koku wants to do long term, slightly better than Bielik. And I like Bielik as a holding midfielder better than the centre half, I think. He did take up a couple of lovely positions in the deep line playmaker spot. Just drifting over to one side, hard to pick up, strong on the ball and can drive. I think Bielik can be a good player in that position there. Holmes made a difference as well. But just for me, it's not working up top for Derby. They need to go with, sad to say because I love Martin Waghorn as an Ipswich fan, they need to go with one or other of Marriott and Waghorn and try and get some width on the pitch. If that means... although I'm contradicting myself because Waghorn could play 10 in behind and that would suit him. They just kept kind of switching around and, you know, you need one dedicated striker in that position and someone giving some width. So it may be better with Joseph Zoon and Lawrence wide, maybe a direct 4-2-3-1, but then where do you put Holmes in? So he still hasn't quite figured out whether he wants full 4-3-3 or a real orthodox number 10. Some work to do for Koku, but they need to stay the course, I think. There is an upside for them there, and the fans do need to be patient with Clark, particularly at the back. I sensed a bit of indifference towards him today, let's just say, with some of his confidence at the back. Cardiff... I thought that was better from Cardiff. They're not pretty to watch, but we know what we're going to get. And they looked a bit more of their old horrible selves, you know, that are going to go and pick up points in these away games. I still need to see more from Glatzel. Maybe him being off the mark scoring will make a difference. I know they've got players to come back. Cardiff, just possibly the wide players. Maybe Hoylett needs to become a starter. He looked a big threat when he came on, but I'm sure Warnock will figure this out. And Warnock knows, like Steve Bruce knows and Mick McCarthy knows, that if you draw your away games and you're hard to beat and you pick up those 3-pointers at home in the Championship, in any division, you're going to start recording the 2 points per game and up the table you go. So I think Cardiff are looking a bit better than a few weeks ago when I saw them getting battered on the telly by Reading. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you're a Derby fan, do you agree with me about the system up front, the possession, the pattern of play, that there is an upside, but still a few tweaks need to be made? He's on the right track, but he needs some wins, doesn't he? And do you agree with me, if you're from the Cardiff point of view, that that's looking a little bit better, a little bit more snap and intensity to the attacks when they get them, especially out wide? And we know Warnock, he just does it in this division. So let me know what you think in the comments. If anyone knows what the hell was going on with the evacuation before the game as well, let me know. I will be at Fulham versus West Brom in a matter of, what's the time? It's 10:30 now. In a matter of 14 hours or something, I'll be there. So I'm going to drive home and get some sleep. You can follow me on Twitter. Loads of videos. There'll be a review, a match experience on Sunday, a review on Monday of the whole weekend, and then I'll be at Milton Keynes Ipswich on Tuesday night to watch my team. Don't get to see them this weekend. Subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications if you're new here. Great to have you on board. Hit subscribe, let's bring these numbers up. And if you're a regular viewer, yes, I'm sat in my car not getting to see my missus on a Friday night. Help me out on patreon.com if you feel you can dip in your pocket and throw $5 a month my way just to support the channel. It'll always be free on YouTube, but to try and bridge that gap between this being a hobby and a viable thing for me, I could really do with some help. Lots of people come up and say hello, recognise me in grounds. So if you're one of those people, then do a brother a favour and dip in your pocket. Anyway, I've gone 24 minutes on a Warnock draw. Comment if you managed to stay to the end, and I'll see you tomorrow for Fulham West Brom. Thank you for watching. Over and out. Derby 1, Cardiff 1.